This video will give you a tour of an overview of the submandibular gland, the specimen that I'm opening at the moment. The submandibular gland is one of the three major salivary glands. They are parotid, submandibular gland, and sublingual. The pancreas also has a contribution to digestion of glycogen, starch, things like that, but that's of course in the abdominal cavity. And the pancreas has an endocrine component. So that will be another specimen in this module. But right now, let's look at this submandibular gland. I guess the first thing you can notice is that it's divided into compartments, and each of those compartments is a lobule. And actually this area here that I'm moving my cursor around is one lobe. Here's another lobe, and another lobe here, and another lobe here. And within each lobe there are lobules, and they're divided by connective tissue septa. We usually don't call them trabecula and salivary glands because these do not always radiate from a capsule like in the spleen and in the lymph nodes. So you can see some structures that have large lumen, and those are usually large ducts that will carry the contribution made by the cells. And then submandibular gland, we're going to expect to see both mucus and serous glands. So if we zoom in on, let's say, any small lobule, we should expect to find a majority of serous cells, and that's what these are here, with a rather round nucleus and eosinophilic granules that contain the salivary amylases and various enzymes that you're learning in lecture. And of course, surrounding each of the acini, there's connective tissue, and occasionally you'll be able to get a good view of a plasma cell. This is probably a plasma cell here, and maybe this one, because within the salivary gland connective tissue, plasma cells exist, and they provide immunoglobulins that are also a part of the saliva. So if we zoom out, now we can see a mucus cell component. So this is a tubular mucus acinus with a serous stimulin here. And of course you can see some small vessels. This is a very tiny arteriole here. You can see one smooth muscle cell nucleus here, another one here, and perhaps one here in cross section. Now if we zoom out a bit, you will see that there are structures that have cells that are very eosinophilic. These are the ducts. And for example, these very eosinophilic ducts are the striated ducts or secretory ducts, where they contribute to the saliva that is initially produced by the acinar cells, the mucus or serous. And then, as you will learn in lecture, it's modified so that the ionic concentration and the pH of the saliva is adjusted by these striated duct cells or secretory ducts. And then as we zoom out, you'll see larger ducts. And of course you already now can identify this as a stratified columnar epithelium. You see there are two layers of nuclei here, and the cells are columnar shape at the surface. But then if we zoom out, that's a very large, we call this an excretory duct because it's actually carrying things outside, and it doesn't contribute to the composition of the saliva as the secretory ducts do within the lobules. And then here, this is a you have to classify this as an arteriole. It's a fairly large arteriole, and it has less than 5 layers of smooth muscle around it. And then while you're not histological experts, you might suggest or think that this is a nerve fascicle, and it is a very tiny one. Let's see, what else could I point out here? There are small veins here, and some of these may be lymphatics also. I think that would pretty much give you a good idea, and we have some annotations with this pointing out a strided duct, and a serous demolune, and a mucus acinus. So good luck in studying this specimen.